Hi, I'm Kelly. Hi, I'm Kelly. Hi, I'm Kelly. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is where I'll be sharing free video tutorials and interesting wire wrapping techniques. So hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments below if there's any techniques you would like me to cover. So check out my Etsy shop if you want to see my written tutorials. And thanks everybody. I shall see you there. Hi, I'm Kelly from Kelly Jewellery. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this cute moon pendant. I'll put a list of everything you'll need in the description below along with all my usual links. We've got Facebook, Instagram and Etsy where I sell all my written tutorials, and I'm currently having a sale on all my jewellery, so that's 30% off all my finished jewellery in my Etsy shop. To make this pendant you'll need 0.8mm wire, that's 20 gauge, and I've cut two lengths at 10 inches which is 25 centimetres and one length at 6 inches which is 15 centimetres. Got 0.315mm weaving wire, that's 28 gauge. I've cut 100 centimetres. I've got a moon shaped stone. Mine is 2 centimetres and the width is 1 centimetre. You can use a different size stone if you want to. Just remember to add or take a little bit of wire length. Got a little stone. Mine's 4mm. You can really use any size small stone that you want. I wouldn't go bigger than 5mm really because of how it captures with the wire. Tools, I've got my pliers, round nose pliers and wire cutters, and I've put a list of all of these things in the description. So take your shorter length of base wire and your small stone, and we're going to hold it centrally. So find the centre of the wire. So holding the stone firmly in place there, I'm just holding it against the wire really firmly. I'm going to bring the wire around the stone. Now this little monkey is going to keep trying to escape. What we do is we keep going around the stone, holding it down the best you can, whoop, and turning the piece as you turn the wire around. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing that top wire around the top of the stone. So that's held from the front. So what we do, we're going to turn it over. Try not to let it escape. So this is the tricky bit now. We're going to bring the wire over the back of the wire. So we're just continuing to wrap around the stone, but now this wire has to go over the stone. And my stone's really small and my wire's really tough because it's silver. So we just carefully keep pulling the wire around the edge of the stone, over the edge. So I'm going over that flat side a little bit. If you're using a stone with a pointy back, then that's absolutely fine. It's a little bit easier to do because as you're going around the pointy bit, so you put it flat side down first, so this would be your pointy side, so you just go around as if the pointy bit's not there, and then you turn it over, and you do this on the back going around the flat side. So you go around and then over the back, but you don't want to go around too many times. You just want to go around enough times to hold the stone. So I've scooped it around the back. Got quite a gap there, so I'm going to pull that down. I want to pull that one down a bit as well. So you want a total of 3 wraps. You don't want to go more than 3 really, because then it all gets a bit too thick. Squeeze your wraps together at the sides. So for this particular design we need one wire coming out one side and one wire coming out the other. So if I send that over there and then bring this wire over here, that's what we want. So you've got a total of 3 wraps, completely covered the back and the front, and one wire comes out one side and one wire comes out the other. And don't worry if you don't get this right the first time, and you might lose your stone a few times in the process as it flies off across the room. So persist, because it's really worth getting the knack of capturing the stones like this. You can really add them to anything you like. So next, take your 2 longer wires, presuming you've cut all your wires to my lengths. So we're using the 2 longer base wires. Find the centre of those wires. So put your thumb in the centre point of those wires. And we're going to start weaving just to the left of your thumb there. So then take your weaving wire. And we'll start with 3 wraps around that bottom wire. So we'll go around the both wires, come up between them, that's Gracie snoring her head off already, over the top wire, and under and around the bottom wire. So that's our repeat, around both wires, around the top wire, and around the bottom wire. And we'll repeat that for about 1 centimetre. So I've done 8 repeats of that weave. Now we're going to separate the wires just a little. We're going to carry on weaving along these wires. So go over the opposite wire, got more wire stuff, and we'll wrap around. So we wrap around a couple of times. Then we come up between the wires and we come over the opposite wire. Then we go around this side a couple of times. We go over the opposite wire, and that's our repeat. So you go over to the opposite side, wrap a couple of times, and don't let those 2 wires come together as you're weaving. And keep pushing it down as you go. Push it down on the sides as well. So we need to repeat that. You need these wires coming open with this little weave going between them for the length of the front of your stone. So mine is 1 centimetre thick, so I need to do 1 centimetre of that weave there. So I've done the repeats on that weave. I'm going to make sure it's all pushed together so it makes it all look nice and tidy. So then we're going to bend it around the stone. So the weaves need to finish at the top there. A super slippy stone. So we're going to bend the weave over the bottom of the stone. And then the wires are going to come up the back. So if that was the bottom there, just putting a bit of an angle in it. So looking at the front wires are going to continue to splay open a little. We don't want them coming any closer together. And the back wires, pinching it together around the stone, so holding that in place the best you can, we're going to bring the back wires to the front. And then the front wires need to go back just a little bit. And then these back wires are going to bend up to join the front wires. So the back wires have come to the front, then they've bent up to join the front wires, and we'll continue weaving across the 4 wires. So it doesn't matter if the stone keeps popping out, we're going to secure that in just a moment. So now we're going to bring the weaving wire up the middle. We're going to wrap twice around the top 2 wires, bring it up between those 2 wires, and then go once around that top wire, bring it up between the middle wires, come over to this side, and we'll go once, twice. Hold on, which way do we have to go? So we come over to this side, we go around the edge wire, then we go around the 2 wires. We're kind of weaving backwards because I never go around this way, which is a bit strange. Then we go around the outer wire. So we've got one around the outer wire, twice around 2 wires, and then once around the outer wire again. And we take the wire over to the other side. We go the same around the edge wire, around the 2, twice, come up between the 2, and we just go around that top wire. So that's our repeat. So looking at your wires, you want those 2 middle wires to join the V shape of the outer wires. And you want a nice shape, but not too much. And then you've got to try and keep that shape as you're working now. So we'll repeat that weave up to about here. So I've done just over a centimetre of weave there. And that'll be the bail, the first part of the bail at the top. So now we're going to shape those wires. Pull the weave together the best you can, and then holding that so it doesn't move, we're going to bend these wires in at the top. But don't let the weave actually come together because you'll squash all your lovely weave. So we've got a bit of a diamond shape. and then hold the wires at the top there. We're going to bend them back out. So we've got that shape. Pull the outer wires out a little bit more. And now we're going to continue weaving along this bail. I covered all this in the Lupa tutorial if you want to go and check that out. I did this very similar design on a donut. So now as you work this part of the bail, the wires are going to keep trying to slip up. If you've got a nice weave on each side, it does tend to hold it down better. So hold this side down, do your repeat on this side. And then we're going to take it to the other side. So hold this side down and do your repeat on this side. So it is a little bit tricky as you do this last half of the bail, and it will keep trying to slide up. As long as you keep holding it down, is that right? Holding it down, pushing it down as you go, and because we've got a nice amount of weave on each side, it should hold a bit better in place. Then I'll hold this side down and bring it over here. So keep going until you get to the top there where the wires meet. So my weave has reached the top there. Do keep pressing your weave together as you go. If you've got nylon pliers, I just like to flatten the weave down, but if you don't have them, don't worry, it's not important. And if you have bail pliers, which I should have mentioned at the beginning, it'll make a tidier job of bending it over if you use your bail pliers. You can bend it over with your fingers if you want to. So across that middle section there, we're going to bend the weave over to the back. I'm going to pop my stone in so that I don't change the bottom shape too much when I bend this over now. Whether it'll stay or not, I don't know. So I'm bending the weave over to the back there. And we're going to take the wires to the front. So it needs to be, weave needs to finish here. We're going to bring the wires to the front. So pinching it in place the best you can so you hold your stone. We're going to bring these wires apart and over the sides of the stone. It's going to be easier said than done. I'm going to bring the wires up. And then I'm going to push the bail together a little, bring the wires over to the front, she says, trying to keep it all nice and straight. Get back in. I think I'm going to keep the middle back wires down to the back, and I'm going to take the side wires over the front of the stone. Like that. I've got two coming to the front and two going down the back. New tutorial now in my Etsy shop. This one has 50 pages and 250 images explaining how to make this unusual cute pendant. So that's over on Etsy. It's a written tutorial. I'll put a few examples on the screen of what kind of thing you're looking at. So I am having a sale over on Etsy at the moment. Look at that lovely shine on that stone. So I hope you're all having a great day, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye for now. So if you turn to the back just for a minute, where these two wires come down the back, I'm going to pull them apart so that they go either side of those back wires there. Then I'm going to take the weaving wire. If you cut 100 centimetres like I did, then you've only got this teeny tiny bit left, so I will recommend that your weaving wire is a little bit longer. So I'm going to go a couple of times around the wire on this side, just to bring the wire down a little bit. Missed. And then I'm going to go around all of the wires here just to hold it all together. Just making a little gap so I can get the wire through. So I'm going to go around all of the wires a couple of times just to tie it all together there. And then I'll finish with a couple of wraps around the single wire. Oh, that was so fiddly, so I will definitely recommend you use longer wire that has only just reached. So we're going to cut off that wire there. So looking at the front now, these two front wires are going to come down either side of that weave. So at the back, you just need to pinch the wires together a little and take care that you don't squash the weave together. It's just those two wires at the bottom there, just so they sit nice next to the weave at the front. And then we're going to take them around the stone. So central, just make sure your stone's nice and central. And we're going to take those wires around to follow the original weave. My stone has got quite a sharp shape, so I'm bending it over the stone. That's my back wires. Bending it over that shape there. So if yours is curved, it might go around a bit easier than mine. And then at the back there, it's going to go out to the side. Like that. So looking at the back, I've just realised these wires will hold together better if they go inside of these back wires. So we need to swap those around. And on this side. It's a little bit of adjusting. So those wires now come down around to the back, and they are next to the weave, and the outer wires come outside of it. So I want to secure the wires together at the bottom here. So take a little bit of weaving wire and wrap around one of those. They're the front wires that's come up the back. This is just a little bit because I'm fussy. You don't have to add this if you don't feel like it. I'm just going to secure the wires together a little at the bottom. So we're going to slide it along to the bottom of the stone. Your stone might even be rounded and you don't need to do this. And I'm just going to pop the wire underneath the lot, and we'll secure the stone in just a moment. I'm going to pop the wire along to the other side. And then pull those wires together. Oh, I can't hold on to it. And then I'm going to wrap around the wire on this side a few times. Because I went under, I'll now go over and I'll go around the wire on the opposite side a couple of times. My brain's gone, which way am I going? Around there. And then I'll thread it underneath. So all I've done is I've wrapped around the one side, I've taken it under and wrapped around the wire on the other side, taken it over, and I've wrapped around on this side and then under and back around this side, just to tie it together. So then what you can do is you can bring these back base wires around and over the side, and then I think I'm going to come around again and then finish them at the back. You can do that if you want to, or if you're fussy like me, we can bring those back wires forward and then add them to this little weave here, so we're tying them all together at the bottom. So this video has ended up being a lot longer than I first planned it to be. And the Lupa tutorial, which is the donut version, is much simpler if you want to hop over and check that out. So I'm going to bring this over and wrap around this side. Then I'm going to thread it under and wrap around that wire just to tie it all in there. So I've tied those outer wires into that weave as well. And I've finished with just 3 wraps around one of the wires coming up at the back there. I can cut all that off now. And always remember to flatten down cut ends. So reposition your stone. Try and get it nice and central. We're going to take these wires out to the sides. And then we're going to wrap around those little shapes there to try and hold it all in place. And try and get them to go around at the same angle. That one went up quite high. And try and hold the stone in place as well. Bit of a challenge, this one. So we're going to go around again. And then when you're happy with the shape, give the wires a good squeeze so they're all held tightly around that stone there. And we'll finish them off at the back. So we're going to take this wire down. I'm going to take this wire down. My stone is super slippy. And this top wire is going to come around, and then this side is going to come around too. We're going to attach the wires here. Gracie having a good old snore. So get a piece of weaving wire and we'll wrap around this middle wire here. Slide it up to where all the wires meet. And we'll go around all of the wires a few times. So we've gone round 3 or 4 times, and then I'm going to go around the wire on the other side 3 times. So that's all tied in, and I'll cut the ends and do the same for the other side. So I've tied this side off the same as that side, and now I'm going to cut the wires. Gracie's just fell out of bed, and now I'm going to cut the wires quite short. I think she's woke herself up. Are you okay? So then I'm going to curl these wires. You kind of have to hold it in place as you turn it so it doesn't move around. But you get the idea. So I'm curling them up as tight as I can. And then I shall press it all into place and squeeze it all together. So going back to that stone at the top that we started with, so looking at your stone, where the wire comes to at the back, we'll bend that one around first. So you want it to sit sort of towards the top of the stone. You can put it further up the bail if you want to. I'd like it to be quite low. So then holding it against the bail the best you can, we're going to take this wire around to the back. So we want this wire to go right across the back, and then we'll bring this wire around as well. So you can take these wires around the actual bail, or you can take them through and go just around the front of the bail, if you find that looks nicer on yours. So I've taken my wires around the front of the bail. It's a little bit fiddly, you can just go around the back of the bail if it's easier. And then I'm going to take the one wire and bring it around this side of the stone and up. And then I'm going to bring the other wire and bring it across the front. And down. And I'm going to attach the top wire with a bit of weaving wire 3 times around the top wire, and then go around the bail section a little to attach here. And I'm going to attach the bottom wire 3 wraps around the wire, and then around the woven section, and then back around the wire. Working with silver always reminds me how much I love working with copper. So I've attached the top, and I've attached the bottom, and I'm going to cut off these wires and just curl them nice and small. So I'm going to oxidise this and I'll be right back. So there we have it, finished. I've oxidised mine. If you'd like to oxidise yours, I did a video on oxidising and aftercare. I'll put a link in the description below. Oxidising silver is just the same as oxidising copper, it just takes a little bit longer in the liver sulfur. So thanks for watching. I hope you managed to follow this tutorial and I didn't confuse you too much, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye for now. Bye. So thanks for watching another one of my videos. Please subscribe and hit the notification icon if you want to be notified of new videos that I do. Please like and comment on this video and let me know what you thought. If you want to see my written tutorials, they're over on Etsy. You'll find the link below. There might even be a link on the screen. And I will see you all in the next video. This is Gracie if you didn't know. See you in the next one. Bye.